if you will go into a little more detail, you actually have a charity, a 501c3, correct?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, and it's Operation Patriotism. I
Yep.
know that is something that I was I was surprised when I first heard that. Like I didn't see you
Yeah.
having one, but I've seen some stuff that you guys have done. I think you
Yeah.
are doing some good work there, and
Hmm.
just beyond just the podcast, I think the work that you're doing with Operation Patriotism is really putting legs to the gospel. You're
Hmm.
going out and you're doing things to take care of people that put their life on the line, people that have
Yeah.
sacrificed to help others. So let's hear a little bit about kind of maybe what started that for you, and maybe some stuff
Sure.
you guys have done through that.
Yeah, and I will say, like, for people wondering, yes, Operation Patriotism it's harder to get that off the ground than, say, like a podcast, for example, because there's a lot more planning that goes into that kind of stuff. So that's why I haven't touched it as much,
Right.
but I'm trying to get into it and do some more stuff, as we'll talk about in a minute. But what kind of started it was, it was kind of in the 2020 era. So both the podcast and Operation kind of were floating around in my head, or like getting formed, around the same time. I was looking at the treatment of officers and how they were being treated. If you can think about a couple, 4 years ago, how they were being treated, and first responders in general, they were getting treated like dirt. And that's not to
Yeah.
say that there's some bad policemen or bad firemen, whatever. Well, here's the thing, like, those good people shouldn't be, trashed for how these few bad people are. Okay, there's bad eggs in every profession that you're going to work in,
Yep.
and they don't need that kind of treatment. Because here's the thing: if you treat them like that, they're going to treat you like that back. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
don't expect them to be like, oh, I'm going to be so nice and great, and then you just do like a tomato in their face. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to, that's not how humans work. Okay, you know,
Right.
and I thought, well, I really felt bad for him. Like, 'cause I was watching the whatever you want to call it, protest riots, whatever. I was watching it, as it unfolded, on TV, and I was like, and for one, I was thankful it didn't happen here. It was just happening in the big cities. But I was thinking to myself, man, these poor families and these policemen and firemen, but more of the policemen, of course, they were facing the majority, but still, I'm sure some EMS and firemen were facing some of it too.
Yeah.
Um, and I just felt bad, so I set out, because I know, and you can ask my mom and dad. I've had ideas like this, but they've always kind of fizzled away, because I thought they were too
Yeah.
big, you know. But the thing about it was, I sat there and I thought, I was telling my dad, I said, I'm at the age now where I can make an impact. Maybe a couple years ago I was kind of too young to be doing stuff like this, but now I feel like I can really make a dent. Let's make an impact, right? And so we, went to a lawyer that we knew, a really nice guy. Praise God, he did all the paperwork for free, which, trust me, some lawyers don't do that.
Yeah.
And got it done, and we, got it through the government, through the state, and I got the papers to prove it. I mean, the day that happened, I was like, "There's no way." I mean, we have formed a nonprofit. Like, of course, it's not under my name because I'm a minor, but it's under my parents. But just the fact that it's there, it's like we did it.
Right.
Like, it is there, and I kind of sat on it for 2 years, and didn't really do much because I didn't know where to start. And I remember like kind of advertising it at church and all this. And I remember I got a really interesting question. It was when we had small groups at the time after youth, and I was telling them about it, and I said I kind of want to put Jesus into this. And they were like, "Well, I don't know how they didn't see the vision like I did because they were like, patriotism, Operation Patriotism, Jesus, the name doesn't flow. They didn't see it." Well, then at the time, then now, at the time I didn't either. I didn't see it. I didn't know how, but I wanted to do it somehow, and I should know. Well, then I thought about it. I said, okay, well, I've got this life group that I'm in. They're great people, great kids. Let's see if I can, get something set up at the police department, at the Valdosta Police Department, and have them serve and be the hands and feet of Jesus and show the love of Christ through this event while having patriotism through serving them, these
Mhm.
policemen, and doing both. And that's exactly what we did. We went and bought some barbecue through some funds that were donated to us through one of our very generous church members, and had a great event. We went and talked with them, we went and ate with them. Um, And we got a tour of the police department, which was great. We got some great pictures from my friend Gavin McCracken. And like it was just a really really neat event, to serve at, and to do, because it was something different, because they don't, sure, they get served all the time, but not by youth groups like this.
Right.
I mean, because we were serving them like that, they might go through and go get food themselves through the line. No, we were putting the food on the plate, we were talking with them, you know being the hands and feet of Jesus and serving them. And that's nothing that I did, God was all up in that. And we did the exact same thing, here recently at the fire department. There wasn't as many people this time because it rained like cats and dogs, but also that is a testament to God right there, because we were able to serve them. Um, and I'll tell you, I prayed so hard because the rain was supposed to come down that day, but we made it and we had people to serve. And praise God for this, because firemen, they can always get called out like at any time, especially
Yeah.
when it's rain like that, because there might be an emergency like that. But they got to stay there just long enough to eat, to talk, to give us a tour of the fire truck. And then towards the end, they got called out, and I got a video of them getting pulling out with the lights and all that. It was so cool. But like, we've done really some fun stuff like that. And again, I've been able to incorporate Jesus into it, because we give out witness cards, that say you were seen, known, loved, with the website on the back that has some resources for you to go to. So, to incorporate both is so cool. I love doing that, and I hope we get to do more. You know,
Oh, definitely. That's something I've enjoyed seeing too. I know I saw recently. I think it was on September 11th. So I guess not super recently. That's several months back.
yeah,
But
several
I
months back,
saw. Yeah, you guys did something. I enjoy seeing
I did the
those too.
walk. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did the
and
yeah. I've done that for
so
3 years
that's
straight now. Yeah.